stabbing each other, and Secret Service still hasn't came yet. Jason stabbed Victoria first, then Victoria stabbed Jason at the end of the episode. A psychopath, all of them crazy. Hunter over here calling for help, talking about some, hold on, baby. I said, baby, then you just had her hanging too? Talking about some, he just was trying to scare her. I knew that they would cut them down. You ain't know nothing. How you knew they was gonna cut them down? Liar. Donald said that he was gonna run for president. Nancy got released from jail. Priscilla think that all of this is over. Constance knew that Max was looking into her. And the last thing is that Lily want Alice to come over for dinner. And the way she was unbuttoning her top, I said, she trying to get him. She trying to get him. I said, when she get him, Donna gonna come home and take out both. I said, I don't know if she trying to tell him about what they got on him or what. And I also wanted to know, was that the same laptop? If y'all seen the episode, was that the same laptop that Lily had? Was she seen them watching him run into the car? Because he trying to get into it. Excuse me. That's not running to the car, but running to that lady. But hey, y'all, welcome back to another review with lchessica for Tyler Perry's The Oval Season 6, Episode 19. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. What y'all think? That y'all like the episode? Look. Hunter just had Hunter calling for help. They just down there stabbing each other and stuff. I said, what type of Secret Service is this? I said, this is not the first time, is it? I said, they supposed to have guards at the door. But then Eli said he wanted this to happen. That's why he had Alonso put Jason in a cell with Victoria. Then he said he wanted this to happen. Now, I don't know if he actually expected it to happen, but I said, look, I said, oh my goodness, like I wasn't. Now, I thought when they went back to that scene, they was gonna rush in and see Victoria on the floor or something like that. But then when they showed Hunter how he was loosening his grip and Jason got loose, and Victoria's over there acting like she was dead, I said, she finna get him next, and she just started stabbing him too. I said, they crazy. They definitely crazy. Hold on. And we got to start with them. Hunter, Jason, Victoria. So, okay, they continue what they showed last week, where Jason had stabbed Victoria, and she just landed on the ground or whatever, and Hunter holding him back. And he told my son, he started trying to get Hunter to let him go. To my son, you supposed to hate her too. You hate her too. You basically pick a side. I said, he ain't lying though. Pick a side. And he was like, let me finish her off. I want to show you. First he said something about he like to watch them die slowly. I said, this man crazy. See, they should have been sent him away. Y'all sent the wrong child away. You sent the wrong child away. I mean, she was wild and stuff, but you should have sent him away. What the world? Should have been had him committed. Should have been had him committed. Now look at you laying there stabbed to death. Not stabbed to death because she's still alive. And he look, they just laying beside each other. I said, Hunter, you would have got too if you was in the same cell. If you was in the same cell, y'all would have had a time. What else? Hold on. But yeah, he was just telling or trying to convince Hunter to let him go. He was like, eventually you're gonna get tired or whatever. And he did. He gonna convince him that she's not breathing. I ain't gonna do nothing because she done. Well, before that, he told my son, I want to show you how I dismembered their body. They did the little flashback where they showed he murdered Gene, where he murdered his grandmama and everything. Psycho. I'm surprised. I don't think they showed when he murdered. I think he murdered somebody else too. But yeah, I said psychopath. That's exactly why they should have been had him committed and in jail. Both of them. Both of them. He need both. But yeah, the whole scene was him just Victoria just bleeding out all that blood and stuff. Hunter just stood, hold on, baby. I said, baby. I said, what type of toxic struggle love y'all got going on? What the world going on? And he kept on, hold on, baby. And Jason was as confused as I was, because what the world going on there? I wasn't expecting him to say that. Now, obviously, I wouldn't expect him to agree with what he just did. Because he been steady trying to talk him down and talking about something, you don't mean it. It's you. I think he just showed you what he mean. He's trying to finish the job and stuff. Hunter still somebody said, what's wrong with you? How come you can't see that this is wrong? How come you can't see that he's wrong? How come you can't see that it ain't all the way there? That he's a psychopath. He already told you that he was going to get you too. But yeah, he told me he liked to watch them die slowly and he wanted to dismember her body. What else did he say? He just was steady talking crazy and stuff. And by the time they went back to their scene, he was like, I could feel your grip loosening, and he let him go. He told my son, she's dead. Let me go. So he ended up letting him go. He went over there and he was just talking. He didn't even see the fact that I don't think Hunter saw it either. I don't know. The fact that she just snatched the dog knife out of her like it was nothing. I said psycho. Everybody. Well, yeah, look. That was the highlight of the episode. Everything else they could have kept. They could have kept the rest of this stuff. Hold on. But yeah, so he was telling Hunter about dismembering the body and how he want to finish her off and all this other stuff, and she's already dead. And he was walking close to it, but he didn't realize she had grabbed a knife already. So you lean down, and next thing you know, she just she just stabbing him. I said they both crazy. That's a psychopath. She just stabbed him. I think she stabbed him twice. She might have just stabbed him more than twice. I don't know, but I said, yeah, whole family Looney Tune crazy. And Hunter just over here, y'all stop. What he said? He just trying to get them to stop and stuff like that. I said, it's too late. They don't still, then these fools still ain't came in. They still ain't came in. I said, what was the other scene? I think it was when Victoria and Simone was fighting, when they didn't show up. Or it might have been another one. I think that they didn't show up when they was fighting and stuff. I think they went over to this, what's it called? The little staircase thing. I don't know the exact words for it. And these fools still hadn't showed up. I want to say it was another scene too, where they waited until everything was over and then they rushed. That might have been the same scene. I don't know, y'all. Well, I said, what type of secret service? They ain't got no cameras. Where didn't they put some cameras down there before? Was it in the same area? I said, okay, now. They down here stabbing each other. Hunter screamed for help. And Jason's like, they not coming. He's like, they got to come down here eventually. They got to feed us. I said, do they? Do they though? I said, when they get down there, it's going to be blood everywhere. Because these fools don't stab each other. But yeah, that's all that happened with them, Donna and Cal. Donna was like, do you hear that? And he could hear Hunter screaming for help. And they was wondering if they was down there torturing them. And he said, what they gonna get out of him? Because he don't know nothing. And then they were just talking about how stupid he is. Talking about, so he's stupid. All he had to do was do his job. And he didn't even have to do that because Donna was saying how he was doing his job for him. That's when he ends up telling Cal that he was planning on running for president. And I was like, I could have sworn. Has it been 4 years already? This show has been on a while. But I was like, I could have sworn he had already told Cal that was the plan, but he was hesitant because he didn't know if they was going to accept a gay man as president or not. And I was like, dude, I could have sworn he told. Remember that, y'all? I know y'all remember it if you've been watching that long. Maybe it was just the fact that he was talking about something he was going to do it recently. The next turn he was going to do it or something he said to Cal. Maybe that's what it was. But yeah, then they started talking and Cal feels like Donna knows more than he's saying, and he's like he don't know nothing, and they trying to figure out how they gonna get out of this. They were talking about escaping and stuff like that. I think Cal was the one who suggested Alan. I said, Alan over here, they're gonna let the power go to his head. Don't know what these folks got on him. Hold on. What else did Cal now talk about? Donna tells Cal he's planning on running for president. Was there something else that I wanted to say about Donna now? I don't know if it was something else I wanted to say about Donald now, but yeah, I think he has a plan. I think he know more than he's saying. I think he said something about they supposed to be bringing in, or they gonna bring in somebody, talking about Constance or whatever. But I don't know. They saying how, I think Sam said that she could be trusted. Priscilla think that she could be trusted. I said, can she? Something. What she said? What she called? She's been vetted before, so Max can stop. She done work with 4 different presidents. That don't mean you legit. Your credentials do not mean you know what you're talking about, or that you know you on the up and up. Because apparently nobody on this show is on the up and up. Everybody crazy. Rich running around murdering his dad and stuff, hitting on folks and everything. Sam running around. What did Sam do? Did Sam hit Priscilla? I don't know if he hit her or not, but he running around doing everything that he done did. Hold on. Let's see what else. Let's see. Donald Cal. I think we finished with Donna and Cal. Sharon and Dale, we should just fast forward past these folks. She still was talking about the money. She told Dale he couldn't keep the money. She wanted to take it back to Kareem's place. She was saying it could be a tracker or something like that. They couldn't know where it's at. Hold on. And they could come looking for it. I said Dale probably gonna steal some of that money. Nancy ends up calling them to say come pick her up. And when they do, she in the car talking about all the places she want to go to. She want to go by the funeral home and do this and do that. I said, now how you going to bury him if you just gave away all the doggone money? Or did you keep some? Or did you already handle all of that? But yeah, she's talking about she want to go to the funeral home. She need to go get some groceries. For what? I said, now when Richard get back home, you better not be there. You better not be there. But yeah, Priscilla was trying to talk to Richard about Nancy. He wasn't trying to hear it. He ends up telling her that she's out. Sam had got her out. What else did they talk about? They was talking about the whole little situation at the White House. She happy. She thinks that everything's over. And he was questioning whether or not it was over. He was like, as long as they still there in the bunker and, you know, nobody knows about what's really been going on, it's not over. I said, exactly. Unless they finna end the show, I don't see this being over no time soon. Unless they finna end the show, I said, no, they're gonna continue this. They might be about to end the show, y'all. We shall see. What else? Did I say Sharon said that? Yes, she said they got to get the money back. Richard said until they out and exposed, it's not over. He ends up telling her that Nancy is out. Priscilla suggests that Richard talk to somebody, talk to a professional or something like that. I said, even if he do, that don't mean that he got to stay with her. I said, ain't no way. Ain't no freaking way. After everything she done did and said, then she still tripping. She got in the car. When she got in the doggone car, she talking about she confronted Dale about not saying anything. And she was like, it's probably a good thing that you didn't say anything, and you would have been in jail too. I said, yep. Or worse. They not playing with neither one of y'all. You better shut up before Sam had you locked back up. Before he, what's it called? When you alter the doggone videos and stuff, because she was like, look, the real or whatever. But we all know that Richard's the one that murdered his daddy, that she didn't do it. I said, now how they did that? Well, I ain't even going to ask how they did that, because nowadays y'all been seeing those videos where they be making them celebrity do stuff, but it's not actually the celebrity. And I said, I don't think, nah, they need to do something about that. They definitely do. Hold on. What else? What else? Nancy wants Dale and Sharon to come get her. We talked about that. Max ends up calling Bobby. He wants him to get to know Constance. First, he was talking about getting drinks and stuff. He wanted to know what he wanted. He ends up telling him he wanted him to get to know Constance. He wanted them to hook up and all this other stuff just to get information out of what else? Sam ends up talking to Max, tells Max that Constance is solid. I said, is she though? I said, I believe it when I see it. She's supposed to be telling Hunter how she his fairy godmother or something like that. But yeah, he was telling him how Constance is legit. So then he's like, he revealed that she wants to talk to Hunter and Victoria. He's like, why? So he ends up calling her. She knew that Max was right there beside him. She knew that Max was looking into her. She ends up saying how she don't work with presidents before, so you know there's nothing he could find because she legit and all this other stuff. And they wanted to know how she knew that he was there. I said, she knows some people. She connected to some people and she got some cameras or something. But I said, now how you knew that, but you didn't know that they was down there? Come on now. She didn't know a lot of things, actually. At least she playing like she don't know a lot of things. Like she went in the office looking for, what's his name, Donald, when they just said that these folks was in the bunker. I don't know if they had told that part or not. I think that he did say that Donald Nell was in the bunker too. But what else? Let's see. Max is saying Sam and Constance. When they was on the phone, she's still saying how she wants to talk to them, and he was like, he'll see what he could do. He got to talk to the president first. I said, she just had that conversation with him. She just did. Alan Alonzo stopped by. He trying to warn the boy, and he hard of hearing or something. I said he been in this for a long time now. He done seen some things enough to know that these folks is not legit. The Donald is not legit. So, hold on. Alonzo came to see him, and he's like, you better get on behind that desk or whatever. He's like, you didn't hear? Oh, you don't know. I'm the chief of staff now or whatever. So he's like, are you sure you're ready for this? He's like, basically saying it's a lot. And he's like, you don't think I could do it? What are you, jealous? And just going off. I said, there go the anger Alan again. Y'all remember when they first showed him? He run around hitting women and stuff. Hold on. But yeah, he's like, you don't think, you just jealous and all this stuff. He's trying to warn him. He wanted to know why would they do that. He thinks it's a setup or whatever. I said, look, Alonzo don't seen some things. Look, he don't know who to trust. He really don't know who to trust. He thinks it's a setup. So he was like, who could have told him anything about him or that he capable and stuff? He's like, maybe it was Donald. Donald would tell him to give him his job. I said, Alan, really? But yeah, he felt some type of way. Alonzo ended up leaving. And that's when, I said, that didn't make sense. Why would he tell? I said, he think too highly of Donald. He think way too highly of Donald. Oh, I forgot a part. When Donald and Cal was in there talking, and they was talking about Hunter, he was like, they was just accusing each other of wanting Hunter. He's like, no, or whatever. Basically, he don't like stupid men. He don't like stupid men. And I said, now Hunter, he was stupid, but at the same time, when he ain't on that stuff, sometimes he be thinking. Sometimes he be thinking now. What else? Let's see. I think we got a big trip to Allen. So after Alonzo had left, that's when Lily called. Wait. Alan was trying to get into that laptop. He wanted to know if Sam could help him get into the laptop. When he sees Sam, let him know to come to the office or whatever. And he agreed. That's when he left. Lily ends up calling. She kept saying she wanted him to come by. He was like, if the president don't need him, then he could do it. She still talking about something. Oh, you going to be able to? And he's like I said, if he doesn't need me, then yeah. He wants to know what it was about. She told my son, I can't tell you over the phone or whatever. And I didn't know if she wanted to warn him about the whole him hitting that lady thing in the video, or if she wanted to warn, or she wants him to warn her bed. I don't know. I don't know, because she started unbuttoning her shirt and stuff, and I was like, maybe she just about to change. I mean, she is hiding the pants. I said, I'm confused. Like, are you trying to get him, or are you trying to warn him? But yeah, I think that's the same. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that the same laptop that Donald took from Lily? I don't know. That's another thing. Cal mentioned Lily or whatever, talking about some day there because of his wife. I said, Lily, you don't went your tail home. Is you okay? You need to get your family and get the step. Then he threatened her family. I said, well, he definitely finna take out her family now. He been threatening her family for how many seasons now? And she done did something stupid, thinking that this is over. She done went home. Why is you at home and this man done shot you and everything else? You supposed to be long gone by now. But then they got all these type of connections and stuff. Well, yeah, she at the house calling another man. I said by the time he get there, and if they do be doing something, Donna gonna be out. I mean, he don't want her obviously, but at the same time, he treat her like she his property. He treats her like she's his property or whatever. What else? Let's see. Was that the last thing, Lily and Alan? Sam want to know why Constance wants to talk to Hunter and Victoria. She was like, she needs to know everything, every side of everything. Why did I write? Oh, okay, I know why I wrote that. Let's see. New chief of staff into computer. Alonzo tells Alan to be careful. It could be a setup. The last thing. Oh, Lily wanted Alan to come by for dinner, and then that's when Jason was saying how he didn't understand why Hunter was, trying to be protective over Victoria and stuff. Then he was like, didn't you hang her? Didn't you hang them? I said, right, the same thing I said, psychopath. That's the same thing I said. Psychopath and sicko. That's the same thing I said. You just hung these folks. You just did that. You talking about some, I just wanted to scare them. I said, you didn't know if they was going to come. You didn't know they could have been gone. They could have been gone. They neck could have been like, just... They're fast to my son. I knew that they cut them down. He ain't no nothing. But yeah, wait, I take that back. After he hung them, didn't he call Donald, or Donald called him or something, and he was like, he had hinted at what he did. Maybe he did think that they was gonna come, but at the same time, you don't know. They could have been up out of there by the time these folks came, because Secret Service is lousy. This whole episode proved that. Ain't no way two people don't got stabbed and y'all ain't nowhere. It's supposed to be guards on the door to make sure they don't break out or nothing like that. Then it's supposed to be guards with Eli. It's supposed to be guards all up and down, Secret Service all up and down that doggone White House. They down there stabbing each other. What the world going on? But yeah, I said they all crazy. I wrote down Victoria stabbed Jason. I said they crazy. Everybody crazy. Hunter just in the other cell or whatever, trying to stop these fools. And they sitting beside each other, telling my son, what she said, I guess we're going to go to hell together. I said, oh my goodness. Eli said that though. But that's it, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the night and be safe.